Hey everybody, it's Flyin Ryan here with a review of the cool new Blade Inductrix from Horizon Hobby. This is a cool little quad here at the ducted fan, 3-blade or 4-blade props. Go ahead and open it up and get a closer look. So it's a really small quad. I think it's kind of like that ultra micro size. You know, it's not quite nano, but definitely smaller than a micro. So pretty neat little size to it, and it's got these 4-blade props. I mean, they're calling it ducted fans. I mean, Inductrix is the name even, but they're pretty shallow. So I don't think they're really doing a ton to actually work like ducted fans. I mean, obviously they're still gonna kind of direct the air a little bit, but they're not super big ducts. So I don't think it makes too much of a difference. And then we got a little battery here, which is a 150 milliamp hour 25C. And then in the bottom here is some extra stuff. So you've got a blue canopy if you want, or the red one that comes on it. And then a little USB charger here for the battery. I think maybe I got a bad battery in mine because I'm having some problems. Like, I was only getting about 2-minute long flights with the battery that came with it. But I tested a bunch of other batteries that I have, and I have one of the new 45C batteries like this, and I was getting like 5-minute flights with that. And after talking to some other people and looking some things up, I think that's about the proper flight time. I think you should see about 5-minute flights. So I think maybe I just got a bad battery here with the stock one. But again, since it's a bad battery, I couldn't really test charging time, so I don't know on the charging time, but I would expect 30 to 45 minutes, maybe something like that. And I got the Bind and Fly version, but this is the transmitter that the Ready to Fly version would come with. I already had this model from a bunch of other Blade stuff I had. So if you get the RTF, this is the transmitter that you would get. You change rates by clicking the right stick, and it has two rates, and the yaw rate does change, and it's a fast yaw. It's got a really nice, good fast yaw, especially on high rates. And then when you click the left stick, you change between, this does have the safe technology, which is basically their name for 6-axis stabilization. So when you click the left stick, you change between stability mode and agility mode. And agility mode turns off the accelerometer, so now you've got just a 3-axis gyro, so it'll hold its position until you give opposite stick input to level it back out. And so that allows you to do manual flips and all that. There is no automated flipping with this, so in the 6-axis mode you just fly, there's no flipping. I did try doing some flips in agility mode and I couldn't get it to work. I'm not great at manual flips though, so it may have been my fault. But I think maybe with the rates that you get out of the RTF transmitter, I don't think there's enough pitch to get it to roll over. You may need to use a Spectrum transmitter where you can program in your own rates and turn it up to 125%. Maybe then you could get it to roll over, or maybe I just am no good at it. So not really sure what the deal is there. And it does have LEDs in it. Let's go ahead and just plug it in and show them. So the LEDs are on the board there. So you've got white in the front and red in the back. So not super visible, but you can see them kind of shining through the canopy there a little bit. Not sure I would call it a night flyer necessarily, but it helps with orientation. Let's see, I think that's about it for the details. So as far as the quad itself goes, I love this thing. It is just super nice. With the ducted fans, it's well protected, kind of like the UDI U816A that I suggest to beginners. This may be my new suggestion for beginners, or at least an option. It's going to be a little bit more pricey than some of the other stuff, but I mean, this thing is super durable and safe. You can bounce it off stuff. You're not going to hurt yourself. You're not going to break props, and it just flies so nice. It's just really smooth. And I mean, Blade's flight controller with the safe system is it's just so nice. It just feels perfectly dialed in. I mean, your stick movements just feel, you know, perfectly interpreted in the quad, and just it makes you feel really connected to it, and it's just a really nice flying quad. So just really having a lot of fun with this thing. But yeah, I guess that's about all there is to say about it. So all we can do now is go take it for a flight. Alright, this is the flight review of the Blade Inductrix. Really cool little ultra micro, I guess we'll call it. Not quite a nano. We'll go ahead and give her a spin. Really quiet, super fast yaw rate. There's a low rate yaw rate, high rate yaw rate. It does change, it's not super noticeable. We get a funnel going there. Pretty good funnels. It kind of does a weird like wobble thing, I think, because of the ducted fans. But it can do really good funnels. This thing is just an absolute blast. It is so nimble and precise and maneuverable, durable. I just bounce it off the back of my head. Let's go on the low rates. But yeah, this thing is so much fun to fly. Just super nimble and precise. Just feels really locked into the transmitter. Yeah, I just love this thing. No automated stunts with this one though. If you want to do any flipping, you've got to put it in agility mode and do them manually. But I'm just in normal stability mode, so it's got, you know, self-righting and everything. So no flipping in this mode. Let's touch the ceiling. No problem. It kind of suctions to it, but it can do it. Bounces off stuff really good. No problem there. Let's see what these LEDs look like in the dark. They're kind of in the canopy, so they're not super visible, but it's kind of lighting up the whole ducted fan. So the whole front is kind of white and the whole back is kind of red, so it's actually working quite well for visibility. I wasn't expecting that whole, you know, fan area to light up so well, but it definitely is. Wow, that's much better than I was expecting. That's quite good for night flying, actually. No problem at all. Man, this thing is so cool. Turn some lights back on, get back over here. Let's do a hands-off test. Getting a little bit of drift. I do have my AC on right now too, so I've got some airflow going. Looks like it's drifting a little bit to the right. Correct that with some trim. Back on high rates again. This thing's crazy. It's like hyper. Nice and quiet too. This is definitely a good one to fly in the house, and you're not going to disturb people with noise or anything. You're not going to hurt anybody since the props are all protected. Big fan of this one all around. I don't know that I got a bad thing to say about it. Alright, well, I think that was all there is to show, so take her in for a landing. Give me a nice landing. A little bouncy, but did it. Alright, well there we go. That's the Blade Inductrix with the ducted fans. Though I don't know that they really work so well as ducted fans. I mean, they're just so short and shallow. I can't imagine it's really ducting the air too much, but either way, the thing flies great, so I don't care if it does duct it or not. It's working, that's for sure. So anyway, check the video description for price and purchase link. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.